You know what? Let's us enter into the chat. Your guest who is in the building. I'm going to read his bio, not all of it, but quite long. But because I'm going to want him to tell a little bit about himself. But Justice Favor serves as a field representative for the Mason Tenders District Council, representing more than 20,000 laborers across the construction industry. In this role, he negotiates and strengthens partnerships between developers and contractors, ensuring fair labor standards and promoting growth opportunities for union members. So let us welcome to Carry On with Khari Edwards and Sin this Sunday, Mr. Justice Favor. I was going to say good morning because I do the morning show, but this is your mic. Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Now, Khari, I know your mother raised you with manners, so please say good evening to your guests.
Well, listen, you know how long I know this guy?
I don't matter. You still have to say good evening.
Well, I was going to say good evening, my brother. Good seeing you again.
Yeah, man. Bless up, brother. You know it, man. Bless
always
up.
A pleasure, man. And when Cara told me it was you, I was excited because, you know, Sin, this brother's been in the fight for a very long time. I've relied on him when I was doing stuff at Brookdale Hospital. Yeah. His laborers are the core of getting, you know, construction done. And so people don't realize that they are the grunt workers, you know, and that without them, there's so many of these buildings won't go up. So pleasure to have you on my show. I'm excited.
Man.
I can say I got somebody I know on the show, you know.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to extend, you know, I'm Jamaican. My wife is Jamaican, so born in Jamaica. Tons of family still out there, brothers and aunts, and you know. So,
have you been able to get in contact?
Yeah, one of her brothers she spoke to and just reconnected with the second one. Okay. So they actually, you know, and we were just down there in September, so we there at least 3-4 times a year. So
it's just so heartbreaking to see, and but you know what the greatest thing that we can do on our side is we can affect change, we can help, and so I'm probably going to be forcing the hand here, but I will say, Khari, if you will allow me, that iriejam Radio will be doing a radiothon. One of many things that we will be doing. We're doing a radiothon next week, Saturday. It will be happening at the Islands. Just watch this space for more information. We're doing it from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. where we will be accepting all types of donations that we're going to be working with certain airline carriers, cargoes to carry down. So just stick and stay, watch the space for more information. But Mr. Favors, we're here to talk about what you do and what your laborers do. Yes. For those who maybe novices like myself, definitely not Khari, talk to us. What are laborers?
Yeah, laborers is the backbone of the construction industry. In my role specifically now, it's 3 construction labor unions that fall under the district council, 1 non-construction union, which is the private sanitation, but we general buildings laborers. Well, we do mason tending, demolition, concrete out in Long Island, local 66, local 78, which is our hazardous local that do abatement, and then local 79, which is building laborers, and anywhere from the first one's on the project to the last one off. General conditions, which entail the actual cleanup of the construction project, tearing things down, assisting other trades, and you know, just all the heavy lifting we do when it comes to building a building.
How did you get into this industry?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I started out doing non-union plumbing, and that was my passion, and I was doing that for various years. I attempted to get in, you know, the plumbers union, the steam fitters union, as well as the elevator mechanic union, and to no avail. And one day I saw a friend of mine working next to a site, my non-union site, and he was like, you know, Local 79 is hiring. And I'm like, the laborers. I'm like, what's that? What do they do? I'm coming from a little mechanical background. He's like, it's a laborers union, man, and it's good. And I, quite honestly, I was like, man, forget the unions, right? Because I had, in my opinion, I had a little unsatisfactory feeling about my attempts to actually integrate and to the other unions. And he was like, nah, it's a union that is extremely inclusive to everyone. And I applied. I actually filled out an application. Actually, shout out to my wife because I was working and I was unable to actually fill out the application.
And
she did it for me. Yes,
shout out to Ms. Favors.
Yes. And I went on my interview on a Tuesday, and Thursday, you know, Tim Warrington that runs the Mason Tenders Training Fund said, hey, we want you. And I started out as an apprentice and just worked my way up. So it's been beautiful ever since.
Let me ask you, for someone that's trying to get into a union now, is it easier?
Yeah, definitely. It's easier now because they have a plethora of pre-apprenticeship programs that actually help folks. I serve on the board of Pathways to Apprenticeship, which is a pre-apprenticeship program that actually go into a lot of disenfranchised backgrounds and communities that typically wouldn't have access to the trades, just to actually educate and enlighten. So you have that. That's the one that I'm actually associated and affiliated with. Mm-hmm. For women specifically, they have NEW, which stands for non-traditional employment for women. That's also a pre-apprenticeship. You have construction skills, and then you have helmets to hard hat. Those are 4 pre-apprenticeship programs. That's a part of the ARC. And what they do is they serve in different capacities, but they also meet at the same direction. Mm-hmm. And they actually get access to folks. And it's a lot more transparent now. So a lot of folks are having, men and women are having access to the trades. And obviously what's going on now, as we can see with these AI, with AI, and a lot of these jobs are under attack. Amazon laying off about 30,000, workers, and UPS, all of these type of jobs. And I would encourage everyone to actually, or anyone that would actually get a trade. And it's extremely beneficial.
Let's talk about the Construction Justice Act.
Yes.
What exactly is it?
So the Construction Justice Act and its entirely is actually to raise the minimum wage on city subsidized projects. Currently, construction is an industry that is often overlooked. You really don't hear anyone having anything to speak about in a legislation. And typically, Black and brown members in the reentry population are the most vulnerable and easy to exploit population. Mm-hmm. And as what's happening on these projects, affordable housing projects, they are paying folks a minimum wage of about $15 to $16 an hour. So CJA is asking to regulate this industry, right, with a $40 an hour total package, right? What that means is $25 would be allocated to someone pay at minimum, and the other 15 could be allocated to benefits. And we're talking about a floor. We're not talking about a ceiling. Currently, there is zero regulation that's in that industry right now, and folks basically are basically replacing exploitation labor in the sake of building more affordable units. And what we're saying that both can be done. And so we just want a regulation. We want attention to this industry that construction workers, right? This is not a union bill. This is for construction workers throughout New York City to actually get their adequate pay. And the one thing I want to say is that construction workers, when you look at it, a successful year is about 9.5 months working. You have to take into account weather conditions, work stoppage, work shortage. When a job, that's the one industry where you work yourself out of a job. Because once you complete a project, you got to wait to get back to work. And sometimes that can take a couple of months, couple of weeks, couple of days, right? So you have to factor that all in. And when you have a person that is an individual that is making $15 an hour on $1 million buildings and $3,000, $5,000 a month apartments that they're building, they working on sites that they can't even afford to actually actually live in.
Yeah. Wow. Is this a bill? You jumping in, Khari?
So yeah, Jess, I got a quick question, right?
Yes.
So how do we sell this when some of the industry saying, oh, supplies are going up, costs are going up, and so how do we support this narrative when most of your bosses now may be like, oh no, this is too much for us?
Well, the symptom of affordable housing, the lack of affordable housing, is the lack of an adequate wage. So we're continuing a perpetual cycle of poverty. If people are going to not have a livable wage, but yet they can build someone an apartment, it's going to be a repeated cycle. So, when you think about the history of America, when we think about FDR, when we think about the stimulus packet, there was always funds or resources that was infused into the economy to help offset some of those issues. So I believe that people have to have guts and glory to actually do this because it can be done. And the one thing I want to say about this is this. Fred Hampton once said that we're not going to replace white capitalism for black capitalism. So when you think about it, the vast majority of these projects that are being built is already in disenfranchised communities. When you think about the affordable housing that is happening around the city, it's not being built in predominantly white communities. It's being built in predominantly disenfranchised communities that already had lack of resources. But yet you want the workers to build this community or build these projects by not making a livable wage. This is a constant repeated cycle. So what I want to say is, are we truly want to have a comprehensive approach on solving poverty, solving wage, income inequality, or we just want to continue with status quo?
Where does this bill stand now in the city council?
Yeah, that's a great question. So currently the bill has 43 sponsors, which is a bipartisan bill. And it's currently on an agent list, and we just currently waiting on the speaker to bring it to a vote. Quite honestly, which I have faith in the Madam Speaker and her team to actually do bring this to a vote, and we are in that good spirit of hoping and believing that this bill will be brought to a vote.
Where's the pressure on that now?
Right. I was gonna say it, but I ain't know how to say it without sounding crazy.
Yeah.
How do we apply
I'm in Cleveland, so I can't get in trouble. So you all right.
Yeah. So I think there's many different things, right? What we also want to do is raise the conversation around construction workers, right? Oftentimes we hear many different dialogues about other industries, and what we want to do is raise this up. And I think that's one of the ways that we could actually put pressure, because everyone say they want to build, all of the candidates, we want to build 200,000 affordable units in the next 10 years and so on and so forth. But where are the workers at that are, why is there not a conversation about the folks that are actually going to build this? So I would encourage folks to, continue to have conversations with the speaker, to continue to ask her, could she bring this to a vote? Because I believe that it has a majority already of city council candidates that already signed on to this bill. And I think we need to sometimes make hard decisions. So what I will say is that if you have a relationship with her, Khari and her folks.
Applying the pressure to you now, Khari.
Listen, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, let her know that this bill matters to you. It matters to your community, to your constituents. And I would ask that we all just be a part of the coalition. And we have a very diverse coalition of folks that fundamentally believe in wages that need to be raised. And that's the way that you can counter some of the income inequality that's happening around the city.
Now, for those who may not know who the speaker is, please let us know who the speaker is.
The speaker name is Madam Adrienne Adams. Okay. Also
from Queens.
From Queens. I'm a Queens.
Are you from Queens?
I'm born and raised in Queens.
I was born and raised in Queens too. What part?
I'm from Far Rockaway.
From Far Rockaway. Okay,
yeah.
You're not too. You are kind of far.
Yeah.
I'm Rosedale.
Rosedale. We right there.
We right there. You know, you kind of out there. But
I am, but we didn't get floods like you guys got, so it's okay.
I'm sorry, Snake Rock.
y'all got Sandy.
No, but you know what?
Yeah, we had Sandy. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
y'all had Sandy.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So let's talk about real quick before we wrap. Right.
Okay.
The importance of this election to your union.
Yes, I mean, it's extremely important because we need pro-labor candidates, right? Whatever position you are, like we don't have permanent friends, we have permanent interests, and we are for workers' rights. I know I live in a union household. My wife is a union, and my life has changed dramatically. I owe the labor's union everything. I'm a kid that was born and raised in the projects, many different impediments, many different, obstacles that have been in my way, whether it was coming from poverty-stricken household to drug-infested community. When I think about all of those things, but the one thing that has eradicated that and had gave me a leg up and being the first one on my mom's side to own a home is a unionized career, making a livable wage. And I fundamentally believe that is the path, because you offset so many different things when you are able to make a livable wage. So the mayoral candidates that are out there, it's important that they really, really, really incorporate a livable wage in their platform and fight for workers' rights. It's extremely important, because a lot of the other rhetoric is just talk, right? It's sometimes we get caught up, and again, I'm not trying to minimize anyone's concerns, but when we get caught up with identity politics, it really to me, it's not really that important, right? Whether you you straight, you gay, you black or white. At the end of the day, we all want to put food on our table. We all want to raise our children in a healthy community, and we all want to be able to provide for our families and have job security.
Well, Justice, thank you for what you're doing, because look, it's Sunday night. You could have been watching a football game, but you saw it fit to bring awareness, and awareness certainly to me. I'm sure Khari would be educated on this, but certainly to me, right, who's a layperson, has zero clue about the construction industry, much less labor industry, and unions, right? So, and that's why this show is very important. Khari, thank you for the idea. Justice, where can our listeners follow you? Where can we support this bill? I mean, I know Adrienne Adams has her office. If you have her information, or we can post it, right? Because we have to apply that pressure.
Yes, thank you. So we have the Construction Justice Act. We have an actual website that's committed to this initiative.
What is that website?
I'm sorry. 1 second.
That's okay.
We also have I believe it's constructionjustice.org. And the bill, it's constructionjustice.org. And it's constructionjustice.org. The bill is Intro 910 in the City Council.
Intro?
Yeah. And the one thing that I want to just stress before I go, this is not a union bill, right? There's nothing in this bill that suggest or say that you have to have union construction workers on this project. We understand that the city is at a place where, personally, I wish it wasn't, but it's an open shop place, right? Where what that means is you can have a mixed bag of union contractors and non-union contractors. And again, that's a topic for another day. With that being said, the one thing is, we're speaking about a minimum wage. We're talking about a floor. When you think of these developments that are happening, 60, 70 stories that are being built, 20 stories in the name of affordable housing, but yet the workers are being paid $15 an hour with no benefits, with no pension, with no retirement. It's just, prove me wrong though. Right. Like, if you disagree with me, prove me wrong. Are you okay with that? In no other industry would we be okay with workers being paid that low of a wage.
Yeah. And they're also working on very dangerous sites, right?
100%.
Like it's a lot of...
Yeah, we had, in the state, we passed a bill called Carlos's Law. So about 5 years ago, construction workers were dying at an alarming rate, unfortunately. And there were no outcry whatsoever about this, the construction workers. So yes, the sites are very dangerous. And, it's so many stories where workers don't have dignity, don't have security, not even life insurance policies, and it's a continued exploitation that's happening on these job sites.
Justice Favor, Field Representative, Mason Tenders, District Council of Greater New York, thank you for the work that you do. And we're hoping that this bill is passed. Yes. We got to apply that pressure to Speaker Adrienne Adams, and it's constructionjusticenyc.org, constructionjusticenyc.org. And if you can get a union job, Justice is saying, go ahead out there and do so, people. It is now 37 minutes after the hour, 7 o'clock. It is Sunday, November 2nd. You are in tune to Khari On. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be having Pastor Galbraith of Alliance Tabernacle joining us. We'll be back.